living room. Highlighted in yellow, I placed the footprint of the back wall, which comes out 4 feet. I put the footprint of the West Elm sectional. So basically I'm going to form 3 foot for the first section of the sectional, and then another 3 feet, and then another 3 feet to the corner. And then I came a total of 3 feet plus 3 feet, or a total of 6 feet forward. So 9 across, 6 up, 3 across, 36 inches or 3 feet. I made a 3 foot by 4 foot footprint for the coffee table, and 1.5 feet or 18 inches over by 8 feet long media cabinet and console table. You should follow along and look at the instructions posted on the module. I went over that in class, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that in this video. Vertical lines are vertical, horizontal lines are horizontal. Other lines will go to the vanishing point located in the center, 5 feet up. You can also find that vanishing point where all lines merge from the ceiling to the top. All lines will merge there to that vanishing point. So I put some dots in the corner so you can see where I'm moving up, and I've also indicate some of my frame so it doesn't get too busy. So 4 feet up, I took that back wall from the corner. I'm going to enhance that so you can see the wall moving forward. Where it hits the ceiling, it's going to go straight across. And where it hits the side wall, it would come down. But we want that wall to stop right here. So I brought it over 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And I'm going to bring that straight up. So you should see I'm going to make that a little more pronounced. And then the back wall here. So hopefully you can see in this video that I brought this portion of the wall forward. Next, I'm going to draw along the base of the sectional. What I know you'll see, there's the front, then it returns to the corner, and then it goes along here in the front. And then I've placed dots in the corners where I'm going to bring vertical lines up. So with a pencil from the front of the 2 corners of the sectional, I brought vertical lines up. And to make this a 3 foot by 3 foot high cube that will build our sectional within, I followed the base of the floor till it hits the wall. And then I went up 2 feet plus 1 foot is 3 feet, and then drew a line straight across from that point to enclose the cube. 2 feet, 1 foot. And then that line is right here. So where the vertical lines meet that horizontal lines, you should see the cube. From each of the corners of the sectional, I drew some vertical lines up. I don't know how tall they will be yet. So again, I'm starting with this front, but I brought a vertical line up from the corner. From the edge of the sectional, I brought a vertical line up. I return to the back of the sectional. I bring a vertical line up, and then across the back, I bring a vertical line up. Where the lines of perspective hit that vertical line, I know I will enclose the cube. So the first place I'm going to enclose the cube is back here to the corner. So from the front top left corner, I go back to perspective. Where it hits the corner, I know I've enclosed that area. Horizontal lines are horizontal, so I'll go across. Where that horizontal line hits the vertical corner, I'm going to go back to the vanishing point, and where that hits that back vertical line, I've enclosed. Horizontal lines are horizontal, so I'm going to take that horizontal line across. But I can also go from this front edge. And those lines should meet up just perfectly on a horizontal line, and they do. So now what you should be able to see in this sketch is that by bringing vertical lines up, once I found my first 3-foot point and brought it across, I've carried across to the top. So I should have the same looking footprint on the top, which I do, that I do on the bottom. The next thing I'm going to do for my sectional is I'm going to find 18 inches that will represent the seat height. So I know that my sectional is 3 feet deep. I checked and made sure it's 3 feet high. So I could cross an X through that cube and find the 18-inch center. So why don't I just do that? I'm going to place an X in this corner. Let's just see if it works out now. But I'm going to follow the base of the sectional. Where it hits the wall, I'm going to go up 1 foot, 18 inches, and I'm going to take that line across. A horizontal line is horizontal, and I'll see it's that same point that I found. So now I've found 18 inches that will represent the seat height. So I'm going to just take a marker so you can see. Here. That I cut the cube in half, or I found 18 inches which represent foot height. And I'm going to take that to the vanishing point, to the corner, and then I'm, excuse me, then I'm going to come across horizontally, and then I'm going to go back to the vanishing point. So I'm going to have the front of my seat going here. So from that point to the vanishing point where it hits the vertical line, I'm now taking the back of my seat back. I'm then going to take a horizontal line is horizontal where it hits that corner. And so now I'm going to return back. And then I'm going to go across. And so what I'm going to find is I'm going to have this really nice back cushion. So for now I'm just going to make vertical lines are vertical. I'm beginning to see the sectional base turn, go straight across, then turn in perspective, and then go straight across again. The next thing I want to do is I want to give the back of my sofa, or my sectional, some depth. So I could do it, I can gauge 6 inches, or I can actually look at the base. If I want the back of that to be 6 inches, I could go halfway across, which is right about here, and up. So that's 6 inches. If I wanted to make it like 4, it's going to be more over here. So what you should see now is my seat cushion. I'm starting to create a back. Horizontal lines are horizontal. Vertical lines are vertical. So I've created what's beginning to be the back of the sofa. And I'm going to go back to perspective where it hits my vertical line there in the back corner. And you've done this before with the chair. That's going to go back. And it hits that back corner right about there. And there's going to be the base of the cushion that goes back to perspective, right? So let's see what this starts to look like. But now that we have a back, we also want to make the indications of a little cushion here. So I'm going to repeat my steps. And it's going to look something like this. Horizontal lines are horizontal. Horizontal lines are horizontal. Right? Back here, they're going to go to the vanishing point. Right, so what you should begin to see is this is the base. Right? And then we're going to have a seat cushion. I'll exaggerate it. Seat cushion. I'm going to bring the base down. So that's about 6 inches, 4 inches there. I'm just going to use that line. So this is what you should see. You should see some cushions, a base, and then we're going to have a foot. I have something askew. When I retrace, I exaggerated my curve a little back here, so I'm going to have to just take a look at this cushion again when I'm done. But you should be able to look at the top of the seat cushion. And I'll fix that when I trace. But basically, you do want to have a back and base, and then a cushion. For the console table. Vertical lines are vertical. Horizontal lines are horizontal. And in class, if you watch the lecture, I pointed out how we calculated that these are about 32 inches high, 2 feet 6 inches going up the side and then enclosing them. I put a base for the lamp. I made my lamp 7.5 feet tall, so now I have a lamp. I put an X through my front of my wall. So I'm going to put a large French door here. So when you do the table, and I'll end this video and I'll put a piece of tracing paper over this so you can see it a little better. When you're doing a sofa table that's not solid and you want to show the legs, I'm going to do this a little bit with some thickness. In the front, the leg will have thickness on both sides. Right? So I'm just showing you that. At the top of the table, that'll have thickness as well. So I just do this. And then on the front edge, that'll also have thickness. And it'll go back to the vanishing point. So right now, the front of this leg has thickness. So looking at, if this is the front of the leg, then as it returns this way, it'll also have thickness. So it's turning the corner. So now this is like L-shaped. This leg will also have thickness returning back, but it's covered by that leg. And this leg will have thickness. So when you're drawing this, make sure that this corner is doing something like this. This is the back leg. It'll have thickness going along the horizontal line, and then it'll also have thickness. So now this will have that same L shape, but in reversed over here. And if you want them to actually be leg shape rather than just this L shape, then you need to enclose them in square. So it takes a little bit of practice working with these, and that probably is a detailed drawing that I will have to show you how to do. But basically, a leg, right? A leg, that's the footprint, is a cube pulled up. So that's how you have to figure out what a leg would look like. Or you can just eyeball it a bit and give it thickness, but It does go back to the vanishing point, and horizontal lines are still horizontal. This is going to be a media cabinet. We're going to put some thickness on the media cabinet. I'm just indicating some thickness here. I'm going to put an X through there, and I'm going to find the center. So now it looks like a nice slider cabinet. You're going to put a TV and a piece of art here. So one thing I want you to look at when you do the coffee table here. Basically, it's a coffee table, so there's the base. So it's going to be a low coffee table, 12 to 15 inches. And then there's going to be another table that goes over it. So you're going to go back to the vanishing point. It's going to go over and down. So there's going to be a piece like this that's going to go over and down. So one table, there's this long table, goes up, back, and then another piece goes on top of it, and you'll see a little bit of thickness on the side. So that's what we'll be drawing here. So this looks a little weird because it falls right on the horizon line, right on that line. So you don't see, if you're looking straight on the horizon line, you don't see to the side of it. So this is going to be the table that's going to go over. And then down. Right, we're going to put some shelves here. They're right on, pretty much on the horizon line. So you put some shelves there. TV goes there. This goes over 2, 3, 2, 3. Piece of art. And not my best video that I've done for you, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a piece of tracing paper over this, and then maybe you can see the details a little bit better.